Welcome to the Artificial Christmas Tree Warehouse, where we offer Australia's largest selection of quality Triumph Christmas trees. In this video, we'll show you in just a few short minutes how to set up your brand new Christmas tree, ensuring it looks as beautiful and natural as possible. Once the tree is removed from its box, sort the branches according to the colour coding located on the stem of each branch. Remove your metal stand and find a level place to set up your tree. Swing open the stand legs to 90 degrees. Insert the base pole of your tree into its stand. This pole can be easily identified as it will have a longer stem than any of the other poles included in the box. Evenly tighten the screws in the stand. Be careful. Tightening the screws on the stand too much will damage the pole. The upper pole will have a plastic plug in the top. Now you can start to assemble the rest of the poles. Ensure that all the coloured dots are facing outwards so that you can easily identify which branch attaches to which pole. Once the tree pole is fully assembled, it's time to shape the individual branches. Fan out each individual branch tip away from the centre branch. Holding the hook of the branch away from you, fan out the tips, starting from the side nearest the hook and moving along to the front of the branch. The best way to work is to alternate the position of the tips so that as you open each tip of the fan, you cover over any gaps in the previous fan. Depending on the model of the tree you've purchased, the process of fanning out the branch tips might vary slightly. Use the picture of the tree we've supplied to guide you. You'll find this with your introductory letter in your tree box. Please note, for some tree models, the wings need to be pulled out to a 90-degree angle from the branch before opening and shaping the tips. Beginning with the longest branches, construct the tree by matching the coloured dots on the centre pole of the tree with the colour marked of each of the branches. Continue building the branches up the tree until you reach the top. Once the branches are in position, it's time to install the top piece. Slide it into position at the top of the tree's centre pole. To fan out the branches, sweep the branch tips outwards and then curve them upwards. Make sure the lower layer of tips fan over the top layer. Once the top piece is in place, it's a good idea to take a step back and see if you can notice any gaps in the tree. It's then very easy to adjust the tips left or right to cover any gaps. Before adding the lights, cross over the tips on the inside of the branches next to each other as they're placed into the branch holder holes. This will also help hide the inside of the tree and make it look fuller. It's important to note, we make the tips at the bottom of the tree top a little longer than they really need to be, so the tips can then curve down close to the stem and come up through the ends of the tips that stand up on the first branch layer. So those tips on the tree top are bent in a slight banana shape. That way you get less of a gap between the tree top and the lower branches. They're more blended. Please note, in certain tree models, the tree top has 6 small branches attached to the bottom with its own thin rod wrapped into the tree top and called a side branch or S layer. These small branches need to be folded down at a right angle with the stem of the tree top, and then the tips are opened up. Now it's time to dress your tree with your lights. Our connector lighting system allows you to connect up to 10 strings of light using just one transformer. You can choose from a straight line connector or an under tree connector, which enables you to connect every string at the bottom of the tree. Start by connecting all the lights to the transformer. Switch each of them on to ensure all are working correctly. Start each string of lights at a point close to the highest tip of your tree top, and then zigzag down to the bottom, keeping an imaginary triangle. Work your way from back to front, pointing the light slightly upwards, returning to the centre pole before moving to the next branch. Hide the power cord above the branch if the branches are above eye level, or otherwise place it below the branch. You can secure the lights to the branch using a tie tag or tinsel wire. Remember to not make the wire too tight. Once your lights are assembled, you can now finish decorating your tree. After Christmas, follow these steps. Remove the decorations, then the lights. Pack up the tree by removing the branches. but don't pack them in the box until everything is disassembled and the branch tips are closed. Unscrew the bolts on the stand. Remove the tree pole and separate the pieces. Then close the stand legs and put back in the plastic bag. Then put the stand and tree poles on the bottom of the box and work back up. The tree top can go in about 2/3 of the way up the box. Store the tree in a cool, dry place. The branches are likely to take up more volume than they originally did, so don't squeeze everything just to close the lid. Otherwise, cover the box and don't stack anything on top of it. We are sure that it will serve you and your family well for many more Christmases to come. Thank you for purchasing a Triumph tree.